for tuning in for Chamber Live. I'm Christine Kernan, Vice President of the Princeton Regional Chamber, and I'm thrilled to have as my guest today, Alisa McCabe from First Steps Financial. Hi, Alisa.
Hi, Christine. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. We're so glad that you could be with us this evening. So tell me a little bit about yourself and how you ended up forming First Steps Financial.
So I've always had a passion for accounting, and I know that probably sounds weird unless you love accounting. But I have started about 10 years ago, knowing that there was a need out there in the small business community for people to pass off their bookkeeping and all the financial side of their businesses. People have a passion for their business, but they don't start a business because they love the accounting side of it. And so that's what I found, that there was that was, a market that was available, and I loved it. So it was a perfect fit for me.
Wow, that's great. And you're dealing with a lot of small businesses, medium-sized businesses.
Small businesses are our sweet spot. That is there's so much reward working with a small business. Yeah. As you know, because, with the chamber, we see small businesses start out and then they grow and they get successful. And you're so proud to have been a part of that.
Yeah, exactly. And you're a small business yourself. So what's great is small business helping small business. I love it. So now tell me, how is First Steps Financial different than other accounting firms?
So we are an outsourced accounting firm. And so what that means is we don't actually go into your office to do the work. We do everything remotely. We provide all the back office support for all the financial work. We would organize all your financials, streamline all your back office processes using the latest apps, and then we would provide you with reporting that would help you meet your strategic goals. And so it's a little different than a traditional accounting firm where you would go see your accountant once a year and do taxes and get tax planning advice. Now, we don't do tax planning or do any kind of income tax returns. We actually partner with your CPA to make sure that you have a team behind you.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that question. How closely do you work with the accounting firm? Because I'm sure that there's tons of questions that you have to ask the accounting firm in order for you to move forward and advise your clients.
And it's so important that we have that relationship with the CPA where we have a lot of give and take, because there's questions that we need to ask them. And then in turn, there's questions that they need to ask us to provide their clients with the best tax planning advice. And it's a great relationship, and we work really harmoniously with lots of CPA firms.
Oh, that's great. So now, how would a business owner vet an outsourced accounting firm? And what do they need to do to feel comfortable with a specific firm?
So that is a really good question, because there's lots of people out there who hang a shingle and say that they're a bookkeeper or an outsourced accounting firm. So thankfully, in this day and age, there are certifications. So specifically for our firm, we focus on QuickBooks Online. So everybody on the team is QuickBooks Online certified, or they're QuickBooks Online Advanced certified. And to check up on this, all you have to do is go to the internet and look up QuickBooks Pro Advisors, type in my name, type in anyone's name on my team, and you'll see that we have certifications. You'll also see how long they've had the certification, what other certifications they have. You can always research people. There's other software out there. If your company uses Xero, which is an accounting software, there's a certification for that. There's other apps. If you know that you want somebody to work with Bill.com or any of the other apps out there, they all have certifications. I also highly suggest you check their referrals. Always ask for referrals, and especially because most outsourced accounting firms are remote. And so you need to talk with other business owners who are similar to your business and ask if they were able to solve these issues and what type of approach they take. So, and you have to, and to be comfortable with that firm, for your second part of that question, you need to make sure that your culture matches up the culture of the outsourced accounting firm. Because there's times when our culture hasn't matched up with someone else's, and that's fine. We walk away. You have to really make sure that what you find important in your business is also what that outsourced firm is important too. And so that really is one of the key factors, because then that means you're going to have a great relationship, because this is a long-term relationship that you end up having.
So now I'm just curious, you have a firm. How many employees do you have?
So I have 12 employees currently, and they are all over the country because our clients are all over the country, because we provide a remote service. And we have, and people often ask, like, well, how do you know everybody? How do you know people are doing their work? Again, we use all kinds of apps that help us talk to each other, and also to make sure that tasks get done and reporting's done, and ease of our clients communicating. So we actually have a weekly check-in with everybody on the team. We have a team check-in every Monday morning.
Oh, now that's great. And so you fit right into the stay-at-home order then, right? That we're all experienced over during COVID-19. Well, it didn't phase you one bit.
We were already doing remote, but it did phase us. And I do have to say, it's very interesting, and it affected my team in a way that was totally unexpected. We didn't realize that we're working from home, but nobody's home. Everybody's at school, everybody's at work. Now everybody's home. So now we're thinking, how do we work in this new environment? We had to make adjustments too.
How do you provide your clients with the monthly and quarterly reporting? And why I know you stay in touch with them a lot, but why is this such an important part of your relationship with your clients?
We provide our clients with monthly and quarterly reporting, and then we meet with them. We're going to go over what happened this month, what's happened this year to date, what's going to happen in the future. And we ask these questions about, did you get that sale you were working on? Okay, great. This means that you need to hire that person, or this means that you need to rearrange this. And then it changes the goals that they have. And so it keeps us in constant communication with our business owner and provides that real collaboration, because anybody who's in business knows you feel like you're going it alone, especially in a small business. There's no one to turn to ask questions. And we become that person that they're saying, like, oh my God, I got a sale. And you're like, yes, rock on. That's awesome. That just increased your profit margins. It did this. It's someone else to celebrate with you, and also hold you accountable for the goal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so you're really more, not only just a financial firm, you're more like a coach and an advisor, a trusted advisor.
Yeah, you know what? It's true. We truly become part of their company. Right. And we call it a team approach for two reasons. We become part of their team, where we're integrated. We know everybody in their company. We interact with them. Sometimes, we offer a service where we become accounting at their firm, and we interact with their employees and their vendors and their clients. And we become part of their company. The other team part is that when someone engages with us, they get a whole team. So many small businesses can't really afford to maybe hire someone full-time or hire a whole accounting team to take care of everything that needs to be done. When you hire us, you get a team. You get one dedicated person, but there's a whole team behind them who are experts in all different areas.
Yeah. So for example, like if your team, one person is asking, has a specific client, do you interact with them as well? I mean, so they know everybody. It's not like they just know one person on your team.
Right. So there's a point person. So there's one person who's a dedicated accounting support, and that's your main point of communication. But we do have an accounting manager who the client also meets, and they know me, of course, because I'm usually the first person they talk to. And they have the dedicated accounting support, and they meet the onboarding team. So they get to know a lot of people on the team. And they have the assurance that someone is always keeping an eye on their books.
Oh, that's great. All right, so now another question. Now, I know you touched on apps, for the small businesses, what type of apps are out there for them? I know you touched on it, but and how do they know which ones will work for their business?
So what happens is when we initially talk with new clients, we talk to them about, what problems they're experiencing, and anything that they want solved. And that leads us to what might be the right fit for them. So we never offer an app unless we've used it first. So we've used all kinds of stuff. So one of the ones that we love, which is not an accounting app, but we highly recommend it, is Asana. It's a task management system, and we use it ourselves to keep track of all the tasks that need to be done, and it's fantastic. But on the other side, on the accounting side of it, we obviously recommend QuickBooks Online because that's what we use, that's what we specialize in, and we can manipulate it to make it work, do all kinds of things. And then if someone says, well, you know what, we're having a cash flow problem. We invoice our clients, it takes them 30 days to pay, sometimes 90 days, it makes us crazy. We suggest you can create sales receipts and do automatic invoicing inside of QuickBooks Online and get automatically paid every month for a recurring service, like when it makes sense.
Right.
Another time, a small business, everybody has to pay bills. So that's a problem everywhere. Chamber has to pay bills.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that, you guys work in person, so you have a secure system. There's probably, somebody who signs a check and then there's a second signature. But in a remote situation, how do you make it secure? We use an app called bill.com. We also use veeam.com. And both of these have systems where you can do an approval process. In this day and age, most bills are emailed. So you get an email, it goes directly into bill.com. It requires 1 or 2 approvers for every bill. So no bill will ever get paid without the owner approving it. And it's easy to use, it's on your phone. But again, so those are some of the apps that we recommend, right off the top of my head that I can say that are always like standard things that we recommend to small businesses.
Wow. Yeah, now that's interesting. I never heard of either of those that you just mentioned. So I'm going to look into that. All right. So when you get started with a client, what can they expect?
So first we have a discovery call and we find out all about the business and what they do, what their goals are, different things like that. And then we put together a proposal to solve all the problems that they have and to set it up so that they can have growth. Because our ideal client is somebody who's growth minded, somebody who's looking to grow their business and really wants to streamline processes and make everything better so that they can grow and scale their company. And then once we have the proposal, we do a kickoff call with the team. They have their dedicated accounting support person, they meet the accounting manager, they meet the onboarding team, and they get to know people on our team. And then the next step is they have a one-on-one meeting with the dedicated accounting support person, and they go over everything that's going to happen, whether they're going to be categorizing their downloads, reconciling their books, running payroll, paying their bills, anything that needs to happen, and then talk about those things that are unique to your company. So for the chamber, there's certain things that you track. You track events and how much money comes in from each event. And so you might want reporting on that. Okay, so we're going to set that up for you. It really comes down to creating a unique situation for each business. And then you meet monthly or quarterly with that dedicated accounting support person, and they go over what your reporting is, anything that's changed, anything that you might need, and any changes that's happened in your business. So that would be how from start to really getting up and running, and really for it to get really smooth and you get that great relationship going. It takes about 2 to 3 months, 2 to 3 cycles of the accounting for it to work out all the idiosyncrasies that you have, like little things that are unique to your business.
Yeah, you sound very, very passionate about what you do. So it's really uplifting to know that you love what you do and probably translates really well to your clients. So how do you discover what your clients' goals are? How do you track that for them?
So when we have that discovery call, We also, it's funny because we do talk about the accounting stuff, but I have to tell you, most of the call is about their business, about why they started it, like where they're going with it, what's important to them. So, and that's when we really discover why they started their business, what their passion is, what makes sense for them for the future. So some businesses, for example, they're saying like, okay, I want to retire in 5 years and I think I want to sell this business. So that's when we start with, okay, let's get a business valuation. And then in a good business valuation, it'll tell you what things are amiss in the business and what you can do to increase what fee you can charge in the end. So that's fantastic. So we talk about those things, and that's how we set up. And so we would set up goals going forward about how to reach that goal of retirement and selling the business. Someone else might say, you know what? I really want to spend more time with my family. I kind of want to back off from the business on the day-to-day. How do I do that? And so we build in goals and steps to get them there. And we would check in every week or every month or every quarter. Hey, we're going to set up automated invoicing. Okay, that's great. So did you find out, we might assign the business owner a little bit of homework to find out some information and come back to us. And so then we start to get this really rich dialogue that goes into making they feel accountable for their own future. And they really feel like they're making progress towards these goals that they've come up with. And it all comes down to, we measure it financially. So that's how we start tracking these things and keeping up with the reporting for it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And again, because you are a small business owner, it's just great to know that, there are businesses like you out there that really are passionate about what they do. Now, I do want to ask you a question. Like, you have trusted advisors yourself. I would imagine people that you recommend to your clients when they need business evaluations, etc. What's your trusted advisors? Talk about those people that maybe that you collaborate with.
So absolutely. We have a group of CPAs, insurance people, health insurance that we highly recommend. People that we've used, and again, these are people we've used, so almost vetted them for our own clients. And I have to tell you, insurance is one of the big ones, because you need somebody who's passionate about insurance to do a good job for you. And we do know somebody in the chamber who's very passionate.
I think you do.
So
I'm sure you know a ton of people in the chamber who are so passionate about their businesses. That's why I'm thrilled to be able to highlight some of the small business owners on our Chamber Live show.
One of the things that I wanted to let everybody know is that we do a free consultation. For anybody who has a small business, you are more than welcome to reach out to us. We never charge for a consultation, and we will listen. We will listen to what the issues are that you are encountering. And if we can help you, great. If we can't help you, we have our circle of trusted advisors who we can, turn to and say, you know what, you might benefit from talking to this person. And also, we're offering everybody who's listening, we have a case study that we've done on doing a workflow for invoicing and cash flow. And it's a case study on what we did for small business and what the results were. And just so that you can see that, other businesses have experienced this. And if you are experiencing this, one thing I have to say, and so many people are embarrassed that they aren't good at the financial side of their business. And I always tell them, don't be, because I can't do what you do. We have hair salons that I can't do my own hair. Would you expect me to do my own hair? Of course not. I mean, so really, please don't let any kind of embarrassment that, oh my God, this is so ugly. It's the worst you've ever seen. Nope. We've seen worse. I can promise you.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think people should stick to their passion.
Yeah.
And let other people take do the financial part if that's not your passion. Absolutely. You do your best work when you do what you do well, right?
It's very true. And this is what I love about the chamber is you can find somebody to outsource all those other things that you are not passionate about. It takes a true person to be passionate about, doing taxes and insurance and all the other things that go into running a business and the IT part of it. Really, are we all IT experts? No.
Right. But thanks for being with me today. This was
exciting
information. I'm really thrilled that you could join me. And I just wanted to thank everybody for tuning in. I hope you will be able to tune in again for our next Chamber Live.